Now, when you were out on the streets of Brisbane yesterday, you saw
I
some
love my
antics.
city. I did. Post Office Square, there we were at a Melbourne Cup function, and outside the Melbourne Cup function, there's a couple who trot a mat out, and there's people having lunch all around the place, and there's a huge screen, people getting ready for the Cup, and this couple rolls this mat out and start doing this stuff. Like, I don't know, it was like a yoga-y sort of thing, and I couldn't help myself. I had to go home and say, what the hell are you doing? So I got a card from this bloke called Trevor Gribble. Trevor, welcome to News Talk 4BC. Meet Mary.
Hello, Trev.
Mary, nice to meet you.
Now, Skip came in bounding down the hallway this morning talking about this incredible feat he had seen. What is it that you and your partner were doing yesterday? Explain it to us.
Well, real quick, it's called Acroyoga. It's kind of a blend of acrobatics and yoga. It kind of makes acrobatic stuff, just lifting somebody up in the air and doing some fun little performance with it, makes it available to everybody. So we like to share. We like to go in the middle of some places and do a little bit and maybe turn some heads, meet some interesting people. So it looks like we were able to do that yesterday.
Well, you were certainly drawing a crowd. There were people who were sort of running around, putting their bets on the Cup and waiting for the big event. And there you were with Amanda, your partner, doing your thing. And the lunchtime crowd were taking photos. The mobile phones were out. Look at these crazies standing on hands. And, yeah, how long have you been doing this?
Well, really not too long, about 6 months we've been training together. Well, actually probably a little more like 10 months now. It's fun how relationships speed up like that. But I learned in the States back in New York City. I think back in September was my first ever time seeing it. And I said, wow, this is pretty amazing. I had been a yoga teacher for a couple years, and I just said, all right, I'm going to turn it up a notch and work with somebody else and see what we can create.
So, Trevor, what brings you to Brisbane, our beautiful city?
Well, we both had independently. So I met Amanda's my partner. She's actually here with me if you want to chat with her as well. I woke her up in the morning to get online with you guys. But we decided that we wanted to come and try something crazy. We'd both been to Australia on our own and learned about the working holiday visa. And so as our relationship progressed, we said, let's do it. And we moved out here in May. And we've been 2.5 months. We traveled around the country, teaching acroyoga workshops in different cities, and then we decided Brisbane was our favorite place. It's warm, and we're from Florida, so we like it warm like that.
So, Trevor, yesterday, as you were doing your thing, preparing for watching the Cup, what was your take on what you were watching then from the people who were watching you?
Well, it's funny because I'm lying on the ground, right? And so I can't really see anything. And Amanda's the one up in the air, and she always tells me, hey, you should have seen all these people looking at us and taking pictures, and it was crazy. And plus, we've got your whole big fancy party going on right there with everyone and all their regalia. Here in the States, we have our Kentucky Derby and everyone there, sure, at Churchill Downs, they're all dressed up, fancy, enjoying the atmosphere. But to see like an entire city about however far away Brisbane is from Melbourne go just as insane for it, it was pretty neat to see how Australia really celebrates the day.
Trevor, were you at Wilson's Outlook up at New Farm during River Fire this year?
Yes, we were. Yes,
our producer saw you. Yeah, So you deliberately choose sort of big crowds and events to do this at.
Why not? Yeah, we like to share, and because people like to ask us questions, and as a teacher, as someone who can unlock these possibilities within people, it's really special, and we like doing it with big crowds around rather than just in our own apartment. It's not.
Maybe we should talk to Amanda, and see how that view from the sky is.
Yeah, here she is.
Okay. Hey, thanks, Trevor. Nice to meet you yesterday.
You got it. No, thanks, Ian. You got it. Yeah, if you come back, I'll give you some information on some upcoming workshops we've got if you guys are interested.
Okay, yeah.
Here's Amanda.
Hi, Amanda. How are you?
Good morning. I'm well.
Now, Trevor was just telling us about the amazing view from up above during these acrobatics you get. What did you think yesterday?
Oh, it's so fun. You'll see people kind of casually walking by, and then all of a sudden they stop and kind of stare and cock their head to the side. And then, I don't get to stare at them for too long, but inevitably you'll see someone whip out their phone, and I try to give a little quick smile before we move on to the next move.
How long do you think you'll stay in Brisbane and Australia for?
Well, our visas expire in May, so as long as we can up until then.
Well, in the meantime, you had a good look at the Cup yesterday because you were standing on Trevor's feet. He's lying on his back. You're up standing on his feet and doing sort of somersaulty things and everything. So did you back a winner?
No, I didn't at all. I think the horse that I chose came in fourth to last.
So you were part of it anyway.
Welcome to Australia.
Well, listen, everyone enjoyed you doing your thing, and it's wonderful to have visitors to our city who are doing something totally different, and it's a great way of meeting people, and I'm glad that I jumped the fence and had a chat to you guys yesterday. I don't know how I'd go doing acro yoga, though.
I think you do wonderfully.
Oh, all right, okay.
Amanda, when's your next workshop if people are interested?
Our next workshop is November 30th. It's at New Farm Power Yoga in New Farm, and it's from 12:30 to 3:30 in the afternoon.
All
Fantastic.
right.
We'll put all the details on our website. Thanks to you and Trevor for having a chat with us.
Beautiful. Thank you.
And you enjoy your stay in our magnificent city, and thank you for sharing your art with us yesterday.
Thank you.
Thanks, Amanda. Amanda and Trevor Gribble and Amanda doing their acro yoga.
It always makes my heart feel so warm when people can choose anywhere in the world, and they've chosen to stay here for 12 months.
Good on them.
Lovely.
Wait till we do our acro yoga class.
I'm not very flexible. I've got balance, but I don't have flexibility.
I'll be bending over backwards to help you here. I'll be lying on my back and I'll be supporting you as you stand up there with total trust in me.
Okay.
Right, okay. It's 6:15. News Talk 4B.